Here's a segment from a recent Gun Talk radio episode. You can listen to all the Gun Talk radio podcasts however you tune in, or check out guntalk.com for more. Another crazy story coming out of New Mexico. Now, let me give you some background. Just make sure everybody's aware. There's a pistol called the Polymer 80. You make it yourself. You buy the parts, the pieces, put it together. In the United States of America, you can make your own gun. That has always been legal since the beginning of this country. There is no law that says you have to put a serial number on a gun you make for yourself. So it is perfectly, let's make sure we understand, apart from the places that have passed these bogus so-called ghost gun laws and bans, which I think are all going to get tossed out, it is perfectly legal to have a gun without a serial number. In fact, before 1968, the Gun Control Act of 1968, there were a lot of guns made by major manufacturers that did not have serial numbers on them. So there are a lot of guns out there without serial numbers. So here's the story. Guy goes into a store in Albuquerque. He wants to get a holster and some magazines for his Polymer 80 pistol, which he made for himself. The interesting part of this is this young man, is not yet 21 years old. He is a member of the United States military. So he made the gun for himself, perfectly legal. He can have this gun for himself, perfectly legal. He goes into the store. The guy who owns the store says, wait a minute, let me see that gun. Looks at it, sees there's no serial number. The store is Shooter's Den in Albuquerque. Just so you know, Shooter's Den in Albuquerque. The guy who owns the store takes the gun away from this young man and says he is confiscating it. Under what authority? I don't know. It's not law enforcement. That would be called theft in my book. He takes the gun from this and won't give it back to him. And he's saying there's no serial number and you're underage. Well, both are not right. I mean, you can have a gun without a serial number. You can be under 21 and own a handgun. Then he calls the ATF. The ATF looks at it and says, yeah, no, it's okay. You can give it back to him. But then, in a real twist of the whole thing, he can't get his gun back because the ATF instructed the shop to serialize the firearm, to put a serial number on it, and to add it to their records, the gun store's records. And so now to get his own gun back from the store which stole it from him, in my view, this young man would have to pass a NICS background check, which he cannot do because he's not 21 to buy a handgun. Good Lord. The world is upside down and crazy. Holy moly. Unbelievable.